Hello everyone, my name is Bailey, also known as CringeMcCringle, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, I'm still here, and I am also still sick. Over the past couple of months, I have been talking a lot about Transformers Animated, and I've been talking a lot about the same molds. It feels like over and over and over and over again. So today I thought I would talk about a very unique Transformers Animated mold that was actually only used once by Takara over in Japan. Today we are going to be talking about Transformers Animated Hydrodive Bumblebee.
Starting off in robot mode, and without the armor on, Bumblebee is looking great in a fresh new gold color scheme and a fresh new mold. Yes, that's right, Takara made a whole new mold for one toy and then never repainted it. And you know what? He looks pretty damn good. Honestly, I've been debating on if the first mold or this one is better, and I think I might have to go with this one. It's a little bit smaller and more to scale, and the proportions I feel are better this time around. So let's go over everything about this figure, starting with the head. This sculpt captures his design very well, and has some nice silver paint for the face, with a molded-in smirk because Bumblebee, I don't know if you knew this, is a little bit of a shithead. He's rocking some significant light piping, which makes sense because the whole back of his head is blue plastic. Chest is G1 shockwave levels of protrusion, but from the front, it looks pretty good. Arms are weak as they are just slabs of the door with molded-in non-posable hands, but I guess there was going to be some downsides to an entirely new mold. Finally, we have Bee's legs, which, like the animated art style, have skinny thighs and slowly get bigger to reach these massive chunks of car kibble that we call feet, which, in my opinion, looks a lot better than Hasbro's solution to the design.
Alright, so for articulation on Hydrodive Bumblebee, starting off at the head, it is on a big ball joint back there. So it can look all sorts of directions, can even look super far up. Not really too hold down, but left, right, all the usual stuff. We got the arm hinges here, which that's the best way to keep them up. They do rotate around about that far back. And it does look like he does have a little bicep swivel. Can't tell if that's sliding out of joint, but that's alright. Elbow bend here. And then, surprisingly enough, he does have a waist swivel. And then legs go forward, but because of the design here and how they're shaped, you do kind of have to pull it out first and then rotate it like that. They do go back. They obviously go out. And then there is a thigh rotation there. Knee bend there. And an angle pivot.
Overall, articulation can be a challenge. While the legs have quite a good number of joints, the upper half has some room for improvement. The shoulder hinges at certain angles are unable to support their weight, and it seems to be kind of an all-or-nothing thing. Many of the joints are slightly hindered by something, but I'm sure if I tweaked a few things, it would be amazing. Now, let's talk about the centerpiece of this release, the Hydrodive Armor. It is currently in its vehicle mode configuration, so let's transform it. Wow. Anyway, plug this into Bumblebee's back and rotate the cover over him and bam, he's armored up. Oh wow, he looks like a grandma that can barely see over the steering wheel. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, guys. I have no idea how to talk about this. The only thing I can think to say is that this feels more so like a Jetpack release that is supposed to accompany the Wingblade Optimus Prime. Dear God, another Optimus Prime figure. How many are there? I can only talk about the same mold so many times. There's 2 more after him? Fine, we'll do it live. Anyway, the only real thing that you can do with this mode is mildly put the guns in Bumblebee's hands as they don't actually attach. And you can also just kind of swoosh him around to let out your inner child.
Swoosh.
Now on to transformation, this thing is great. Much simpler and just as enjoyable as the Hasbro version, and somehow it achieves a better result in both modes. And here we have Hydrodive Bumblebee in his vehicle mode without the armor. And just look at how cute this guy is. This new mold is wonderful and definitely a lot smaller in vehicle mode than the original. I also feel like it might be just a tad more in the animated style than the original. It certainly is a lot more squished down and a mild chibi design. Going over all of Bumblebee's details, obviously the gold paint hits you right in the face like it did in robot mode, but let's talk about all of the other stuff. He has his black stripe going down the entire left side from the front bumper to the roof. He has his red police light, and the headlights have been painted in much better this time around over the Hasbro version. And finally, he's got some silver painted rims and blue clear plastic windows. Now, while on other video reviews I would stop right there, the armor from robot mode is also compatible with vehicle mode. Just match up the plugs on the armor with the ports on the bottom of B and attach them really easily. Now move the front to cover up the vehicle mode and just look at him. Damn, why does he have to be cute? Don't worry though, B is loaded up with some guns that have been finished in silver paint just in case anyone decides to mess with him. There's also some gold and black paint applied on the front and the wings so that way it matches up with Bumblebee because style. On the back we see some blast effects that really sell the whole either flying or hydrodiving effect. And he's got some underneath the wings too that mildly look like torpedoes, but I think they're supposed to be his stinger boosters.
So, what are my thoughts on this figure? Well, overall, it's a solid toy. I truly think that it's about at the same level as the Hasbro version, but for a few different reasons. Like, if I was to rank this on one of those, like, tier list videos that you see all the time, I'd probably rank them both in, like, the same tier, but it would be for very different reasons. Now, is it worth it for you to buy? Probably not. The regular animated Bumblebee is perfectly fine for most people's collection. It's a lot more plentiful, thus making it cheaper, and it is also just a lot of fun. But I don't know, for me personally, I kind of always wanted this toy ever since I watched like Optibotimus's video on it. It was just one of those figures like that I couldn't have, but I really wanted to have. I just had to wait until I was an adult, and I had adult money, so that's mainly the reason that I got it. It's because I've wanted it since I was like 10. I do really enjoy this figure, and I'm really glad that I do have it in my collection. So for me, it is worth it. If you're not a big animated fan, totally feel free to skip it. But with that said, I will see y'all in the next video, probably in the correct spot, you know, in the correct area. We'll see. But yes, other than that, that'll do it for today's video, guys. I will see all of you in the next one. Take care.